Hello, faith leaders, and welcome to Breaktime. Philippians 2, and we're going to go to verse 16. That says this: as you hold firmly to the word of life, and then I will be able to boast on the day of Christ that I did not run or labor in vain. And so he's talking about this way of how to live out of our purpose, how to live out of God being alive in you and me, because he says work out your salvation, but then he says it's because it's God that's at work in you that's enabling you to find how to work out your salvation. And so then we talked about this, don't complain. He said this earlier, but because God's alive in you, what is he telling us to do in this passage? He says hold firmly to the word of life. Now, children of God, this is how we decide. This is how we make choices. This is how we determine how we're going to live. And I'll tell you what, you need to have, especially as the days grow darker, and I'm not talking about physically darker outside, I'm talking about it seems like there seems to be a little more darkness in our world today. This is how we're going to determine how we're going to make our decisions, what our motive is going to be. If this isn't in you, then the word of the world is in you. And I don't know how to say that any lighter than what I just said, but the word of life, if you want to know how to come alive in your walk with the Lord and grow and one with him, it's through the word of God, being enriched in him and allowing this word to teach you how to walk, to show you your oneness with Christ, to teach you how to make the decisions that are so permanent to your life. It's right here. And so there's no question on how to live, because it's in here. But most of the time we try to find how to live, how to find the word of life out here in the word, out here in the world, how to make these decisions. And I'm telling you that your workplace is no different. I mean, there may be a set of regulations and standards that you're to live by, but if it is contrary to the word of life that has been given to you and to me, it's not you don't allow the job to make the decision for you. Your decision's been made. It's right here in the word of God. It's solidified. It's solid. And so then we're not wishy-washy. Isn't that amazing? Because we have a way of life. And we've been given the word of life. The word that so much sets us free from the things that want to entangle us and tear us down, making us emotionally depressed and get us in places that we never dreamed we'd be. But when we come into the word of life and we say yes to it, that's one thing we have to do, is say yes to it. Life becomes abundant. Life becomes freer. Now, it doesn't mean that life is always the way that you've planned it, or the way that persecution's not going to come your way. But when persecution does come your way, you have this word that's living in you, and it's your constant source of encouragement and strength. So there you go. I need it. You need it. We need to get in it. You, my friend,